What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 66 of The Climb, here with Luzenac. Today, we take on Bordeaux. Yes, it is mid-January, the transfer window is open. Have we been busy? No, not really. No, we haven't. We made a few little sales and, well, no new additions as things stand, although Neymar has retired, everyone. He played 7 games for us, he didn't score, he didn't really do anything for us, but it was fun. While it lasts, it didn't really offer us anything. I'm going to be honest, it was disappointing. I thought he might get a goal. He couldn't even manage that. And the fact I've not had to sign someone to replace him kind of gives you an idea of perhaps where he ultimately ended up fitting into the team. We have made a few sales though, so we might as well cover those to begin with. Colin Cassidy has left us to go to Standard Liège. He is a Northern Irish international we picked up as a freebie. Nice to make a lot of money off someone who he brought in for absolutely nothing. And Milan Deco, you may remember this chap. He was the emergency signing we made last year at centre-back. I've ultimately just ended up selling him on. He wanted to move on. And of course, since his arrival to the club, Amadou Colley has come into the team and done pretty well. He was the young Senegalese player. We picked him up from Anderlecht, you may remember. And yeah, he's played 7 games as a starter this year, which for a third choice centre-back, you know, is an indication that he is getting a fair amount of football. And he's been pretty good for us as of late. So yes, it is January. We have got the money to spend, as I mentioned, from the sales and also last episode, just in terms of it's there. The truth is that I just don't see a way that I can really improve the team right now. And it feels a bit weird just to spend money for the sake of it. Who knows, maybe the scouts or myself will find someone in the remaining week or so of the transfer window. But on the whole, we have a pretty large squad anyway, so there isn't an immediate need to go out there and sign a player. Yeah, you can see here, 28 players in the first team. Of course, Baumann out on loan this year. Let's move him down to the reserves just because I like to keep things semi-organised like that. But no, on the whole, pretty happy, I guess, with the team and how we're getting on. Of course, this season so far, we've done lots of live comms of big games. Today, we take on a team that shouldn't be easy in Bordeaux, who are in 8th. But at home, we will certainly back ourselves to win it. And yeah, after a very good start to the year that saw us go on an extended unbeaten run, things have spluttered a little bit since that PSG game last episode, where, of course, we lost 2-0. You can see, just looking through the games here, not still unbeaten, but not at our best by any means. Too many draws for my liking. And well, the first game was a draw, following on from that PSG game. It was the first game of December, taking on Sochaux. In this game, Galvez got us off to a flyer. The former Sochaux right back, yes, scoring from range. What a goal this was for him. One of his best goals, I think, for us. Worth noting, of course, with him being former Sochaux player, he had a point to prove. He ended up getting man of the match, but as you can see, they did score from a set piece, which was a little bit disappointing. Anyway, the next game we had was against Auxerre, and in this game we won 4-2. Colley grabbed 2. Yeah, brought him in, scored from set pieces. Looked pretty blooming good from them. So that was a really good result there. And into the very next game, we took on PSV, where we got another win. Of course, this was a bit of a pointless one, really, because we already knew we were, well, going on through. We already knew we were in the Europa League. It was an exhibition. As a result, I did play a really rotated team for this one. Worth noting that Harvey Elliott picked up a knock, as did Huskarich. His slightly more serious. He's been out of a broken collarbone and so hasn't been available for selection for about the last month and a half. So, yeah, lacking a little bit of a plan B on the bench going into these games. And I think that kind of explains the next 2 results. The first was a 1-1 draw against Orléans again. A team that we should be beating, similar to Sochaux, and we just didn't. I guess the silver lining is we're still unbeaten, and it was good to see Colley get a goal, but it was disappointing. And while the next game wasn't too much better, against Lille, on this occasion we didn't, surrender a lead. In fact, they took the lead early on through Jordi Mbula. What an incredible goal this was. He smashed it into the top corner. Yeah, really, really nutty goal for him. Our goal was a little more scrappy, not quite as pretty. It was Lopez with it. It kind of hit him in the face more than anything. But it ended up in the back of the net, and therefore it's a goal. And well, with that, it was 1-1. We went into the winter break. We played Mallorca, had a nice vacation, enjoying the summer Spanish sun. I say summer Spanish sun. It's December, the winter Spanish sun. That doesn't sound, not good alliteration. And well, from that break, we came back refreshed. And so far, we've looked pretty good. We took on Châteauroux in the French Cup, of course, the Coupe de France we should be winning, and well, we won this one comfortably. The next game we had against Stade Brestois was a good result as well. Good to see Julio César get on the score sheet. He hadn't been wowing me with his goals, in the previous few games. So coming in from the international break, getting 2 in 2 for him. Lopez also scored in this game, and, well, Brass scored as well from the penalty spot in the 74th minute. They did have a sending off in the 86th minute, but the game was done by that point. Ultimately, it was really good to get a 3-0 win. Having got one win in our last 4 league games prior to this one, to win 3-0 was nice and convincing, gave me some hope. And we took on Paris FC most recently in the Coupe de France, of course. We are the reigning champions of this competition, and we managed to win this one 3-0. We've got Bordeaux today, as you can see. Nancy we have in the French Cup, and currently they are down in 12th. Of course, they finished 2nd or 3rd last year. What an incredible season that was for them. There was a question of, how would they be able to manage in the Champions League? Well, they've not really managed to manage the Champions League. Similarly to us, they have gone down to the Europa League. They are struggling significantly more than us in the league, however. And well, let's take a peek at that league table. And here is how things look at the moment. Unfortunately for us, PSG are just in another... They might as well have their own league. They're in another dimension at the top of the table. They're pulling away. Lyon, to be fair, aren't far away from them. They had a really disappointing year last year, Lyon. You can see compared to ourselves, they are now 7 points clear. So we have lost ground on them with all the draws. Ultimately, I think at this point we're targeting a top 3 finish. And of course, this game against Bordeaux would be quite nice to help us on our way to doing that. Bordeaux's recent form has been less than ideal. So I'm hoping that we can get a win. We've not seen enough wins in live comms this episode and this season. It's worth noting that in the Europa League, we've been drawn against young boys. I'm going to refrain from making the jokes that everyone will make when we get drawn against young boys. I'm above that, kind of. I've never played young boys, I don't think, before in a European competition. So this is a new level of restraint I need to show myself in terms of you've seen the jokes, you've seen the funny screenshots of Football Manager involving young boys in the headlines. You don't need me to explain it. But yeah, we've got them to look forward to tomorrow. So nice, easy game, he says, knowing that they'll probably now lose it. Fingers crossed, we win it and it's nice and easy against young boys. Hopefully, we can go on a little run in the Europa League, maybe match or even surpass last year's semi-final showing. But anyway, for the game against Bordeaux today, we have pretty much a full-strength squad at our disposal. I have just noticed I've selected our preset of best 11, but there's a gap in the team. There's no sub 6, and that's because that's where Neymar used to be. So with that in mind, I think we'll bring in Harvey Elliott to play sub number 6. Neymar, you're not hit. He's not there, game. He's not there. Let's save a new best 11 just so I don't have this problem again. But yeah, a little bit sad to see Neymar go. He didn't offer us a great deal, although he was a useful tutor with a perfectionist personality for 6 months. Looking at the team on the whole, you'll notice that today I'm going to play Galvez over Saldella. Saldella this year really hasn't wowed me, whereas Galvez, in significantly fewer games, has shown a little bit more going forward from a goals to game and an assist to game kind of perception. So with that in mind, he's going to get the nod today. The rest of the team is kind of what you would expect. Worth noting, Kofi, he's just hit a whole new level, folks. He's up to 13 finishing. I never thought we'd see the day. 13 finishing. Also, 19 composure could one day hopefully be 20. He looks absolutely nutty, though. I'm actually impressed with how little we've managed to get out of him for how good he looks. He looks like the kind of player who should be contributing significantly more than he currently is. Let's see if he can step it up today. Just a little bit of a tactics note. Since the kind of draws, I changed the system from inside forwards to inverted wingers, just to hopefully help us create a little bit more. It worked in the last couple of cup games and the most recent league game, but a test here against Bordeaux to see how it fares for us. In the team, Julio Cesar continues to play up front. Only 5 league goals to his name in 11. Needs to up that a little bit. Today, a hat-trick wouldn't go amiss for him. Lopez has been chipping in with some important goals as ever. 7.25 average rating in the league is pretty blooming good. I feel like he is the linchpin to our attack. If he plays well, the rest of us play well. He's got 10, and Ari also has 10 in the team. Meanwhile, Kene and Bra, I never really talk about Kene and Bra. They deserve a little bit of kind of credit. They kind of just do their thing. They don't wow you. They don't rock your socks or knock your socks off, whatever that expression is. I'm not hip and down with the kids to know what happens with your socks when something is amazing. I don't wear socks. But yeah, they've not done anything incredible. They've kind of just held the fort together, which, to be fair, is kind of what I want from a Segundo Volante and a deep line playmaker. I'm not looking for them to reinvent the wheel to, completely change things up. But anyway, let's see how we get going on into this game. I feel like this is not going to be easy, although on the face of it, it is certainly one that we should be winning. I'm hoping that we're going to do it comfortably. I'm hoping that Cesar's going to grab a few. Kofi with an assist or two would be nice. Ultimately, though, I would like to just show you a win, because this season I focused a lot on these really difficult games. We've taken on the likes of Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG on a few occasions. Bordeaux, by comparison, should, and I say should because it's not always the way football works, should be easier. Will it be easier? I suppose we will find out over the course of the next 80 minutes. Because after 15 minutes, absolutely nothing has happened. Anyway, you can see here, we're not having as much of the ball, but we have had more shots. And while Kofi winning the ball here, back to Marsden, now to Felipe Jonathan. Lots of assists for him last year, was one of the standout players, Felipe Jonathan. Not quite the same level this year, so maybe this is a game where you can turn a corner. Ball to the edge of the area, Bra hits it just wide of the post. I think the keeper knew his dimensions there, knew it was going wide, but not a bad effort, working it into a somewhat dangerous area. The concerning thing for me right now is, well, I was about to say we've not had a shot on target. We have now had one shot on target, make it two. I mean, that's slightly better, I suppose. 6 shots without having one on target early on was not a particularly promising omen. Anyway, we could have a set piece here. Oh, okay, no, we don't have a set piece. I take it back. 2 minutes left of the half, though. A goal here for either team could be big as Dupuy brings it forward. I don't know if that's how you say his name. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Oh, my word. They nearly scored. That would have been a screamer of a goal, wouldn't it? Hit the woodwork. It's still shaking. Galvez able to get to the rebound as well and get it away to safety. 0-0 at the break. There has not been many highlights in this game. There has not been nearly enough opportunities early on in the second half. Can we get a better start? Bra to Galvez, who of course has come in to get assists. A right back. Ball whipped in. Kene heads just over the bar. Still yet to create a half chance or a clear-cut chance this game. We're having lots of these kind of middle ground opportunities, I suppose. Anyway, Felipe Jonathan's picked up a knock. Unfortunately, this does mean a little bit of a shuffle. Galvez to come in at left back. Sardella comes on at right back. Obviously, Felipe Jonathan is a pretty important player to the way in which we play. We don't have a whole host of left back options, so with that in mind, I'm going to play it safe and just take him off. But 0-0, not really a classic. Although we've got a set piece here. Ari whipping it in. Where is Marsden? He's not under that one. Although Julio Cesar back to Ari. Marlon Adriano's shot is blocked and, well, they get it away. My word. That was a great opportunity, wasn't it? Just not taken. The shot blocked. I think that might be the first real proper highlight we've had of the game. Cesar's been disappointing today, so with that in mind, we're going to bring in Sesko. I've got one last sub in my back pocket. Where do I want to use it? I kind of want to take off Kofi. I'm going to take off Kofi. I'm going to bring in Harvey Elliott, a player who has had a little bit of interest in him, the former Liverpool youngster. We did actually accept a £16 million bid, but then he rejected the contract. And, well, it doesn't look like he's having any impact in this game here. Demand more. Get shouty, shouty. Nothing's happened. I mean, what else was meant to happen? Come back for a game, think, we'll do this one. We've not seen a win in a while. We've still not seen a win in a while. It finishes 0-0 here against Bordeaux. And the drying up of goals kind of continues, and that is a teeny bit concerning, really, in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, you can see with that result, Marseille closed the gap a little because they won. Nice won as well, although they are a few points behind us. In fact, 5 points behind us. 17 games left of the year. Of course, the board expectation this year was just to qualify for the Europa League, which is a top 6 finish. My own personal aim would be to finish top 4, but we need to book up our ideas. We look okay at the back. We're not shipping a load of goals, but we're not scoring a whole lot either, which you do need to win in order to win any kind of football match. Anyway, looking a little bit further ahead, as I said, Young Boys is going to be coming our way tomorrow. Should be a pretty interesting live com doubleheader, the first knockout round of the Europa League. Got a long and gruelling task if we want to make it to the final. In a weird kind of twist of fate, the way things are playing out, there is a reasonable chance that I shift the focus away from the league and into the Europa League and Coupe de France, knowing it's our last year and knowing that really I'd like to win silverware. And without talking too prematurely, we're not catching PSG this year. There's no chance that they're going to be hot on their heels, so maybe we need to make alternative plans, and the Europa League does sound quite good in terms of something to focus on instead. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me today. I do hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you have, drop a like on it. Lets me know that you're still enjoying and watching the videos. We will be back again tomorrow. I hope you're ready. We're taking on young boys, and, well, we need to give them a schooling. I'll see you guys then. It is me, Jack, and I'm out.